I guess pick and choose tonight. FAMU, FSU, both at home for some big basketball
Absolutely,
games.
And with all due respect to Charles Dickens,
yes.
These are the best of times. Yes. And these are the best of times. The tale of one city. I don't think there is another city in the United States that has two teams leading two basketball conferences, and both have the duty tonight. The Florida State Seminoles have already beaten two of the perennial monsters of the Metro Conference, Louisville and Memphis State. But frankly, they were expected to have off years this year. Now the Seminoles go 5-on-5 with the team picked in the preseason to win it all, the South Carolina Gamecocks. And as Don Evans tells us, it's a chance to remove an irritating thorn from the Seminoles side.
The Seminoles got off on the wrong foot against South Carolina last January, losing 63-60. Then they finished on the wrong foot, losing in the Metro tournament to the Gamecocks 86-85. That's not a good sign.
You just don't want any one particular team to get your number. You don't want some team that has a special defense or a special offense hurt you each and every game because you can't solve the puzzle as to how to play it more effectively.
And the Gamecocks present a lot of puzzles to solve. Daryl Martin's leading the Metro Conference in rebounding the third straight year. And then there's this guy.
Terry Dozier, Karasik with him. Dozier puts the move on him again. Shots up. It's good. It's going to count.
Dozier set a Metro tournament record with 38 against the Tribe last year, and he saved his best games for FSU.
We've got to understand as a team that if Terry Dozier gets going, he's had some luck against us. And what happens there, not to say luck, but what happens there is a youngster gains confidence. He thinks that this is the one particular game he's going to light it up.
But confidence is something that's not in short supply at Florida State these days, especially since they are atop the Metro Conference.
They understand where they're at. Teams are trying to beat them. Now we come back here home tonight, and we should win tonight.
And a two-game lead on the Gamecocks wouldn't hurt Florida State one bit either. Don Evans, Channel 6 Eyewitness Sports at Florida State.
Thank you, Don. Meantime, that old gauntlet is down at Florida A&M University as well. The Rattlers are riding a hot 7-game win streak, and they also are perfect in their conference, the MEAC. But so, too, is North Carolina A&T, making this one the headliner game of the year at FAM.
A&T is probably it is the top team in the conference and the school to beat.
Both teams come in at 11-2 on the year, but the Rattlers have the atmosphere on their side. After all, it's homecoming.
They like the big ones, and I like the big ones. So A&T is a big one, and, you know, Corbett, he does a fantastic job, and we just want to make sure that we come out on top on this one tonight.
Now, they'll tip it off at 8 o'clock at Jake Gaither Gym, but get there early. A full house is expected. We'll have pictures of both the Florida State and Florida A&M games tonight at 11 o'clock. NBA officials will be working the abacus in overtime tonight. It could be the night the NBA reaches a major milestone, the 5 millionth point scored in its 42-year history. Only 450 points need to be scored in the 3 games on the schedule tonight to achieve the mark. And it looks like the number 5 million will come down out west, probably during the Milwaukee Golden State ball game. Let the hype begin. Pro football's biggest and usually most overrated week has officially begun, with the Super Bowl teams now heading west to San Diego. The Broncos left Denver this afternoon with a completely different attitude from a year ago. As repeat champs of the AFC, the Broncos will be a little better prepared for all the hoopla and craziness of Super Bowl week than they were a year ago when they headed west to face the New York Giants. The NFC champion Washington Redskins, meantime, came out a little early, arriving in San Diego very late last night. This is the 3rd trip to the big one this decade for the Redskins, so 2 veteran Super Bowl teams should provide a much better Super Bowl matchup, or at least let's hope so. Now, with the participating teams in place, the super city of San Diego can concentrate on putting its very best game face on. This is San Diego's first shot at hosting a Super Bowl. It will mean millions for the Southern California economy.
San Diego, beautiful, serene, minutes from Mexico, the most expensive real estate in America, and these next few days, the most expensive sports souvenirs in America. You see, San Diego is Super Bowl city, and the jewel of Southern California is ready to cash in.
I'm going to make some big bucks. Long hours, lots of money.
Business is business. We have to go for it.
Of course, there are those citizens of this sunny paradise by the sea who would just as soon miss the whole deal.
Well, I'm irritated with it. I don't like what's going on in the city and the congestion, and personally, I'd rather be out of town.
The lady has a point. You ever tried driving in Southern California under normal circumstances? Come Super Bowl weekend, untangling the traffic might be tougher than this guy's job at Jack Murphy Stadium. And oh yeah, speaking of the stadium, it's being spruced up for the occasion as well. Seating capacity up to 75,000. A tent city outside to hold 4,000 super partiers. But you know, come a week from Sunday, you can forget all the super hoopla. The Denver Broncos and the Washington Redskins could care less. They're in town for something far more simple.
Somebody once said, as long as you bring the balls, you got the players, and somebody paid the power bill, we'll play the football game.
By the way, Broncos still 4-point favorites. The drug testing trend in sports has found its way to where the good old boys hang out, the stock car circuit. NASCAR President Bill France announced today that beginning immediately, drivers under, quote, reasonable suspicion of drug use, unquote, will be tested, and those who are dirty will be suspended.
Our competitors have approached us many times in the past and asked what they could do to begin and further a program that would keep substance abuse out of our sport. They want us to do everything we can to protect our sport.
The hawk is on the way. That means serious cold weather. And if you want to fish tomorrow's best time, you better hitch a ride on an icebreaker. The good stuff gets cranking when the temperatures head straight down from about 5 in the morning till 9 o'clock. But the biggie of the day goes from 5 in the afternoon, fills the entire evening. Absolutely perfect weather if you are Nanook the fisherman. And
yeah, you're going to need a saw maybe and get through the ice tomorrow. Boy, big games on tap tonight, and it'd be nice if they could get away with unblemished records in both conferences.
Wouldn't it ever? Give them a big boost towards some of that March Madness.
There you go. Thanks, Bob. Well, a high honor for a South Georgia educator when Eyewitness News continues.